I mean, I've been trying to keep up with this conversation as much as I can, and I've read plenty of articles about people actually trying to figure it out. Overseas in this
Yeah,
country,
I've been following
and
that closely too.
yeah, and they were like, oh, we got this festival in Philly, and then
None of it
they
sticks.
we're doing shows on the rooftop so that the
Yep.
entire neighborhood could hear it. And then next thing you know, bigger names want to show up, and the city goes, nope, never mind, ban it,
Yep.
can't do that.
Hmm.
And I think it's gonna, I really think it's gonna happen because to the point I made during the show, crisis brings creativity, and people have figured out a way how to make it work. Maybe not the best way, maybe not the way like it was before, but at least like make it somehow work. And there's always a lesson to learn from that. So whether it's happening in another country and you're like, oh, they're actually doing something, let's figure it out, let's see if we can apply it here. um there's no lack of creativity in the world. That's all I was trying to say, and somebody will figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's actually really interesting to see what people have come up with during this time. When you look, I mean, we talked about this before, Colin. I think, like, look at the verses stuff that Timberland
Swiss
and
Beats.
Swizz Beatz is doing. Like that's going to blow up. I mean, it already
Hmm.
has, right? There's a season 2, and people are like, oh, who's going to be the verses and all that stuff. You know, I'm trying to bring up the hip hop bingo back and do it online. Um, People were doing shows. I know, like that. There was the SOS Fest last weekend with like the Roots and a bunch of different bands, trying to raise money for venues. I see Mobley is going door to door and doing shows on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, why not? Why not? This one comedian I know, he was on the what's his name? Duncan Hunter. Hunter was doing this. The comedian was going like house to house and like talking shit about a house and put that on Instagram. I don't know if that turns into like attendance at comedy shows because there's not really that many comedy shows happening. But still, it's like, okay, this is the card. These are the cards that I'm dealt with. How do I make the best out of this situation? So you got to think critically. You got to think creativity, and with creativity, and be like, all right, I got to figure something out. I can't just sit on my ass and watch Netflix all day. And what's
Well,
going the difference? When I think, and when this is quote unquote over, when there's a new normal or whatever, you'll see the difference between people who spend the time just watching Tiger King and binging Breaking Bad again and not doing anything, and people who are able to reinvent themselves in whatever capacity and come out of it as a different person, as a different business, as a different something that actually better, that's actually works better for them. So and for other people. That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
Everybody got a podcast now.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? So everything you're describing works well when your core value of your thing you have isn't people getting together, right? So podcast anybody can listen to online, right? It's not all about gathering people in a room and
Well,
listen, watching a podcast,
I, I
but
take comedy for example. Um, Bert Kreischer has been on a tour for months, and he does comedy in parking lots, and he has like 700 cars in the parking lot, and he's making money doing that.
comedy works better that way because
No, no,
comedy, you're not dancing,
yeah, I
you're
know, but
not
I'm talking
yelling.
about reinventing yourself, like trying to figure
Yeah.
that out. And like, yeah, but it will not replace the hey, I'm at a show, people are laughing next to me, so I'm laughing too. You're losing all of that. You're just in your car listening to the radio. Just a comedian happened to talk to you, and the only way you can clap is to honk or flash your lights. That's
Listen,
totally
I
different.
think just music is, and Cody said this, is uniquely targeted by this COVID thing in a way that few other industries are. Just
Yeah,
makes it a lot more challenging. So I think you're right. Everything you said. Crisis breeds creativity, but this is just such a core problem within that industry. It's hard, man. No one has really figured it out. No one.